Hi friends, my name is Kim. Welcome to Healing Place Cottage. Welcome to my kitchen. I am so happy to have you with me today. Today we're going to make a recipe from Better Homes and Gardens, Our Best Recipes cookbook. And it was one of the first recipes I came across. They took the old version of beef stroganoff and they made that a new updated version. So you may hear there's some water on the bottom of my pan, so it's making a lot of noise. We'll just let that go. So the first thing we're going to do, in a small bowl, we're going to stir together some sour cream, which I have. We're going to stir together a quarter cup of sour cream and 1 to 2 tablespoons of prepared horseradish. So let me get a cup and a spoon. So stir this up a little bit. We want a quarter cup. So say that's about a quarter cup. And then we want 1 to 2 tablespoons of prepared horseradish. Well, I'm going to guess this is hot. Smells hot. So I'm going to do and this is actually, I just realized, horseradish sauce. But I don't think it's really going to matter because I think it just has mayonnaise in it. And we're going to set that aside. And then we are going to cook, so this beef stroganoff, it calls for 1.5 cups of dried white noodles. Our water is not at a boil yet, so we will wait on that, but we'll go ahead and cut our broccoli, because what they do is they add broccoli to this recipe, and they actually have us cooking the broccoli during the last 3 minutes of the time that our noodles. So you know that is something that I like, because that means not dirtying up another pan. So we'll go ahead and keep that to the side. And then we also need to cut a small onion. Well, I have a half an onion, and this recipe is for 2 people. So you could double this recipe for 4 people. It's a dark and dreary day here in Dayton, Ohio. What is it like for you today? It's made more dreary by the fact that we had such beautiful weather this week. It spoiled me. So this says to slice this. So we're just going to cut this into slices. Set that aside. And then it calls for 8 ounces of ribeye steak. And I went ahead, because I like super lean meat, I got London broil. So I'm going to get my meat cutting board. I almost said my meat cookie cutter. I did buy today some of that shelf liner that I was talking about to put under my cutting board, but I didn't do that yet, but I did buy it. So this is a very large piece of London broil. So I'm going to cut about a third of it. And I'm going to trim off the fat. It's not yet Halloween. I don't know if you celebrate Halloween, but this says to trim the fat off our beef, cut beef into bite-sized strips. So I'm going to just cut this in strips like this. And then we'll cut that down smaller. So it's not yet Halloween, but I know it's Beggar's Night in several places. And I'm in an antique mall in Tip City called Midwest Memories. And I went in there today because I have some plants that I water in there that I'm selling. And there were kids in costume going to all the merchants in town to get candy. So I thought about my granddaughters. They are going as farmers. My son and daughter-in-law are going as farmers, and my granddaughters are going as farm animals. And my youngest granddaughter, who is 4 months, she's 5 months. She is going as a chicken, and my oldest granddaughter is going as a goat, but she's going as a fancy goat because she wanted the costume with the tutu. So she has horns and a little bow tie and a tail, and just precious. So I can't wait to see them in their costumes. Tell me, do you celebrate Halloween, and do you dress up, or when you pass out candy, or when you take your kids around, do you dress up? So we're going to put some oil in this skillet, and we're going to get this going. Get our onion going. One day I don't get the skillet hot enough, and the next day I get it too hot. I made my video, I loaded my videos for next week, all my videos for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of next week, and Monday of the following week. Today is Saturday. So I'm very excited about that. And let me find my garlic press. And I'm not going to add the garlic just yet. I don't want it to burn. I have the heat down now, so we can add it. My water is almost to a boil. We're going to go ahead and add our beef. And I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands. our water is at a boil, we'll go ahead and add some salt to that. Do you salt your water when you are boiling pasta? This is a cup and a half. Remembering this is just for 2 people. There I go, messy cook. There should be some saying about the messier the cook, the better the food, or something like that. So we're going to cook these according to package directions. So let me see what the package directions are. It says 7 to 9 minutes. So we will give it 5 minutes, and then we will add our broccoli. I think I added it too soon, but that's okay. They'll get done. I'm not a big beef eater, but I've already made 3. Have I made 3 recipes for you with beef? I'm trying to mix it up. So the next thing I want to look at are finding some recipes for fish. Well, we did do salmon. So maybe my next recipe that I look for should be tofu. So we could make something with tofu. That would be delicious. I do make a salad with fried tofu, and you roll that in sweet chili sauce, and then with the Asian vinaigrette, sesame vinaigrette dressing. It's delicious. So maybe we'll make that as one of our next meals. I just have to figure out the nutrition facts on the fried tofu. I don't think it would be bad. It's rolled in cornstarch rather than flour. I think I turned my skillet down too far. Watch pot never boils. We'll give this just a few minutes. So tell me in the comments something that you would like to see a recipe for. And I can try and find one that is healthier, a healthier version, like tuna noodle casserole is one of my favorite things. And I've seen several recipes for a healthier version of tuna noodle casserole. So that's going to be something that I try. I don't make it with mushrooms, although the traditional one is made with cream of mushroom soup. And what I do is I cook the soup and then I drain out the mushrooms. I don't mind the flavor of mushrooms. I mind texture of mushrooms. So we're gonna get 1 cup of beef broth. We've got that ready. I have a turkey breast thawing in the refrigerator, and I'm going to make that tonight. One of my favorite things that I think I've mentioned this before, one of my favorite things to eat with leftover turkey is just onions and turkey sauteed, stir-fried. And with soy sauce. We're going to add our broccoli to our pot with our noodles. I think this is going to need to cook a little bit longer than 5 more minutes. There's a lot of liquid coming out of the meat, and this way it will cook faster if I get rid of some of that. So the next step after this is we are going to add our tomato paste and our beef broth. Oh, we're going to put some flour on the meat, stir it around. Then we're going to add our tomato paste and our beef broth and allow that to cook and get thick. Oh, wrong one. So the next step after this is we are going to add our tomato paste and our beef broth. Oh, we're going to put some flour on the meat, stir it around. Then we're going to add our tomato paste and our beef broth and allow that to cook and get thick. Broccoli is beautiful when it starts to get cooked. It becomes this bright green. So we're going to add our two tablespoons of tomato paste. Stir that around. I don't remember there being tomato paste in the original beef stroganoff, so this will be interesting. I don't know that I've eaten a true beef stroganoff though. I know I've eaten the mock one that is with ground beef, and I've definitely eaten the hamburger helper version. Beef broth. Okay, we'll go ahead and drain our noodles. Letting this get thick and cook up, get that raw flour taste out of there. Now I did not add any salt or pepper. I'm going to go ahead and add It does call for a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. I'm going to go ahead and add some salt as well. Add some salt to our pasta and I'm going to give this a taste just to see if it tastes like the flavors have melded together. Give it just a few more minutes. So we have some of our broccoli in our pasta. I'll go ahead and add some of the beef. Try to get some onions. Top that with our horseradish sour cream. Looks beautiful. We're going to give that a taste. Some pasta and beef. It does taste like beef stroganoff. I did not think that it would, but it definitely does. There is a kick in the horseradish sauce, so consider that when you are adding your 1 to 2 tablespoons. Consider that because you know how sensitive I am to heat. There's definitely a kick, and I didn't use quite a tablespoon. The beef would be more tender if I had used ribeye, if I'd used a different cut of meat, but I like a really lean meat, so toughness is what you have to deal with in that when you're fast cooking it. So I would not recommend London broil for you if you like tender meat. The flavors are good. The tomato sauce is not overpowering. When I took a bite of the sauce, or when I just tested it to see if it was done, that was overpoweringly tomato sauce. I didn't even taste the beef, the cup of beef broth that we added. I couldn't taste the onions or garlic. But when you mix it all together and that sour cream with the horseradish on it, that mellows that tomato taste out and it just becomes a very rich gravy. So I think it's a winner. Absolutely a winner. I will make this again. I will probably try it with a different cut of meat. I may actually even try it with a different type of meat, since I'm not a huge beef eater, I may try it with ground beef as well, because I do like ground sirloin. And sirloin would have been a good option for this as well. Still would have been tougher than ribeye. You're not going to get as tender if you don't have as much marbling in your meat. So, but I definitely think this is a good recipe. I will make it again. I will use that trick of putting my vegetables in with my pasta at the end of its cooking. I think that's a great idea. And that would be great with chicken. I make a chicken and pasta and broccoli dish, that will be perfect. So I will absolutely use that trick again. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. It helps folks find me when they search for diabetic friendly recipes. And I can't wait till we cook it together again next week. Take care, everybody.